Good day everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing One Piece chapter 1010 or 1010 titled Color of the Supreme King. As you know, that means Conqueror's Haki. Um, so let's dive into it because this chapter is a lot happening. So yeah, let's begin. Spoiler warning of course. So the chapter starts off and we see Big Mom falling from Onigashima again, and she's calling for Zeus, and of course Zeus can't come help her because he's trapped in this box that Kid made. Uh, I would say that it's maybe a Faraday cage or something to that effect. Anybody who did engineering should know what that is, or did physics or chemistry might have an idea. Um, so yeah, we get that, and we see Zoro is cutting up Prometheus, but he's still trying to go to save Big Mom. We see Zoro is tired because he's wheezing, and more questions: how is Zoro able to do this, seeing that he took such a big hit last chapter, and all his bones should be broken? So a durability feat maybe from Zoro here. And of course, Kaido calls Linlin pathetic. I think in the unofficial that dropped Friday, he called her an invalid. but yeah. And we see Luffy glaring at Kaido like he did in the first fight that they had where he knocked him unconscious. So he's doing the same thing here. And one thing to note, first of all, Kaido goes after Zoro to release Prometheus for Prometheus to go save Big Mom. That aside, the main thing here is Kaido calls him Pirate Hunter. So we know Zoro was known as the Pirate Hunter earlier on in the series, but Kaido calls him Pirate Hunter. So does that mean Kaido actually knows who he is, or of his pirate hunting days back then? So that is something interesting to note. But when Kaido goes for him, Law switches with him. Shambles switches with him and uses injection shot. So this I think is Law's first big hit on Kaido, because he hit Big Mom with Gamma Knife. So he hits Kaido right here in the throat, it seems, with injection shot, and Kaido coughs up blood. And Kaido says that Law's power throws him off, but he uses a next new move, antibacterial curtain. In the unofficial, it was just called curtain. Um, you get more reference to doctor's stuff because, of course, Law is a surgeon of death. Um, so I'm not sure if he's hit or he teleports away here. But I think he takes a minor hit. Of course, Prometheus manages to escape and reform, and he's after or giving chase to Big Mom to save her. Uh, Zoro mentions that basically Prometheus is going to save her, and Law here we get a bit of Law being kind, I guess, because he tells Zoro to let him go. It doesn't matter if he gets there, because if someone dies in the plan or this plan, if someone dies, it doesn't make sense. The aim was to separate them. So basically, Law is prioritizing life over death in that aspect, because he doesn't want his teammates to die. Um, Kid then says the whole point of this was to separate them, and even Killer says it's no need to take it too far at being died. And Killer and Kid say they're going to deal with Big Mom, and we see Killer and Kid run off. And we see, like in the earlier chapters, when Kid was running up the flight of stairs, how he had scrap metal following him. He's doing that here. And of course, Zoro calls out to Kid and Killer, and they go off after Big Mom. Something to see here as well is, of course, Prometheus and Napoleon save Big Mom. They continue to bash Zeus, how Zeus is useless and worthless, and he's bringing them down. But Prometheus asks Big Mom for a favor. She loves him, as we can see, because she calls him her sweet little baby here. So, out of the two, I would say Big Mom is her favorite child, being Homie. Out of the three, or one of the three here, that is maybe her favorite. But Zeus, Prometheus, that is, asks her for something, and Zeus now is trapped in the box. But I mentioned Zeus because of two things. We see we see Kid and Killer standing on the cliffside, and they mentioned something's up with the clouds, and it seems stormy. So I'm wondering if Big Mom is going to create a new Zeus, um, or create a new homie to replace Zeus, and that would give credence and more credibility to the theory that Zeus is going back to the Straw Hat and he will be Nami's main weapon, or one of her main weapons, seeing that Big Mom sees him as a failure and witless and all of that. So I think that's a huge possibility right there. Um, so yeah, we now cut away from Kid and Killer and Big Mom and that situation. Hopefully we get more on that soon. Um, and we see Zoro and Kaido squaring up. And basically, Kaido mentions that Straw Hat is still glaring at him, like I mentioned earlier, when he was knocked out. Same as before in the first fight where Kaido one-shotted him and he was knocked out and he was glaring at him. And Zoro speaks up because Kaido is asking if he should crush Luffy's eyes or heart or his brain first. And Zoro says no, that's my captain. Um, and basically he tells Law that he's at his limit, this is his last attack, he's going to go all out. And Zoro calls out to Kaido and he says if you want to crush anyone's skull or kill anyone, depending on which translation you read, you have to do that to me first. And we finally get Zoro's big play, his big move here. Zoro pulls out Ashura, Nine Sword style Ashura, and he proceeds to use what's called Dead Man's Game. I believe it's the attack in the official. Um, and he slices Kaido, and we see Kaido's bleeding from his mouth. Law looks shocked, of course, but so a few things. First, it's been exactly 500 chapters since Zoro used Ashura. The last time he used it was chapter 510 in Sabaody against the Pacifista. He used it and he got wrecked still. That was pre-time skip. We haven't seen it post-time skip yet, so this is the first time seeing it. And that was chapter 510. This is chapter 1010. So exactly 500 chapters later. Everyone was, of course, waiting for Zoro to pull out this move. We've been hyping it all along. So the one thing is, when Zoro lands the attack, Zoro is tired. He's exhausted now. And we see Kaido has a big scar on his chest and he looks shocked. Kaido is like, boy, don't tell me you can use the color of the Supreme King too. So this now confirms for all our Zoro fanboys out there, Zoro does have Conqueror's Haki. We got a tease of this earlier on when Zoro was mad and he was shouting in the banquet hall, and there was the earthquake when Kaido was raising the island up, and Brook asked him if he had that haki and Zoro said no. So Oda has been teasing this all along, but Zoro tells Kaido that he doesn't know what he's talking about, he doesn't have any idea, and he collapses. And Zoro says he was hoping to maybe knock Kaido off his feet with this attack, but he couldn't. But Kaido praises him and says, this wound will remain with me because you left a scar on me. This attack will leave a scar on me, kind of like Odin. And Kaido says this generation is basically annoying because he's getting fed up of them, I guess. We proceed now to Kaido just pissed off and he's ready to wreck everything. Law calls out to him to get away, and of course Kaido tells Law, stay there, I'll get to you. And we see Kaido uses Thunder Bagua again, and it seems he hits both Law and Zoro. The panel, it's hard to really tell, but he hits both of them and two of them go flying. We see them cough up blood, of course, and they're injured. That's it. I'm hoping Zoro gets to do something else. I really am. But Kaido says basically that what a shame. He wished that he could have teamed up with them, or they would have teamed up with him to conquer the world because they're strong. But then we see Luffy gets back up now and he's like, mark my words, you're going down. And he would never team up with Kaido because they love samurai. Unlike Kaido, who hate samurai and was trying to oppress the country. Um, and Luffy gets up and he's like, it was still shallow. But after taking the hit from the Konambo, he realizes or comes to the conclusion of what Kaido is doing. And that means he figures out Kaido is using Conqueror's Haki with his weapon. Kinda like how armament coats your body or weapon sometimes, depending. Kaido is able to do that with Conquerors as well. So that means armament would be um, the highest defense and Conquerors would be the highest offense. We still need more explanation on this, but Kaido goes to strike Luffy and he says, only a handful of the strongest could do this, not a dead man walking, referring to Luffy being a dead man. Um, but notice when Kaido says only a handful of people could do this, and that would give credibility back to the earlier chapter when Kaido had the mental image of a few people on top. That would have been Odin, uh, Whitebeard, Roger, Linlin, Shanks. So maybe those are the people that he knows who can do this type of ability, and that's why we got that little panel with them. Um, so yeah, but Kaido proceeds to swing his Kanambo, and in doing so, Luffy puts his foot up and blocks it, and we get a mini version of when Whitebeard and Roger clashed and they weren't touching. We get a mini version of that here, and it has a little bit of the thunder and lightning going on, but Luffy proceeds to jump up in the air and finally goes on the offensive again. And we see he uses a few attacks. He does one to Kaido's gut. I don't believe he's touching him, so he's using either Ryo or the Conquerors to injure him here. And then he does an uppercut, and he knocks Kaido down. And Luffy proceeds to say, or tell Zoro and Law to go on downstairs. He thanks them for protecting him and says, he'll be okay, he'll take down Kaido. Um, so yeah, also Law is kind of like the Odin in the scene for when Roger and Whitebeard clashed and they weren't touching. Um, so yeah, um, we get that, and the chapter ends there. So, few things. The one thing I don't like is the fact that Luffy, if he is mastering this ability so quickly, I don't like that because, for example, Katakuri and the Future Sight, it took him a while to learn that. Throughout the fight, he had to take blows and figure it out. This feels a bit rushed, so I'm hoping we get more explanation for this ability. Yes, Haki blooms in dangerous situations, but I feel like that might be a bit rushed, especially that we're now learning about it as well. Um, um, the other thing is, of course, Zoro used Ashura. He managed to scar Kaido. I don't think that's it for Zoro and Kaido though, because I feel like he needs to do more, especially since he has Enma. Um, we reference the Kid and Killer and Big Mom. I'm interested to see what she's cooking up, if she's going to make a new homie. Also, we know Nami needed help to fight Ulti, so maybe Zeus goes back to her because Big Mom maybe depowers him a bit or basically tells him, "You're trash, get away," and he goes back to Nami and he helps there. But other than that one dislike that I have for the chapter, I would give this chapter like the name, not the name, but like the chapter number says 10/10. I'd give it 10 out of 10. I was not expecting Zoro to pull out a next big feat right away, but loved it. So yeah, um, of course, if you all had um, any other opinions on this, feel free to leave it down below. Um, if you enjoyed anything I had to say, leave this video a like. If you didn't like anything I had to say, you could dislike the video, that's fine. If you're new, hit the sub button, it's free 99. So yeah, feel free to hit that like, hit that sub, there, somewhere there. Also, I review different things every week, so it should have a playlist right somewhere, either here or here for all the One Piece reviews I've done so far. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Ring the ding-a-ling bell, or ding-a-ling, ring-a-ling bell, hit the notification bell too. So bye.